So, this is a little introduction. What is this fail? I find myself in a time where I want to rediscover my creative self that I may have neglected for quite some time now. I'm not an artist nor a professional. Quite the opposite, actually. I'm someone who is just starting out. A beginner, let's say. I don't really know how to paint the perfect picture, write the best poem, sketch a flawless-looking tomato, or even write a song. But I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to find ways to incorporate artistic and creative things into my everyday life, even though it's not always easy, with work stealing away most of my hours and random chores and activities piling up. But still, I'm willing to try to take little steps towards this direction. My motivation doesn't derive from wanting to become a professional, nor claiming the title of an artist, but rather knowing that I have followed myself's longing to create, observe, listen, and create some more. And who knows, maybe I will also inspire one or two of you to find your forgotten, neglected, never had been discovered before artist within. Okay, so now I got ready and I'm actually gonna meet a coworker. I'm ready to go outside to make really quick drawings of people passing by. My teacher kind of suggested that to us, to just start with quick exercises that don't take much time, that maybe are more focused on like just whatever you see in front of you, you just try to like depict it on the paper. And I think that sometimes it's also a lot of fun because you end up observing a lot like in your environment versus maybe going out and thinking about your own troubles and your own world and whatever it could be. Oh God, this is hard. So I'm just going to continue a little bit here, maybe sketching one or two more, but the exercise itself is like about not seeing your sketch while doing it, but you're just looking at the object. And then I usually look at what I drew and I kind of improve it a little bit, maybe the outlines, but in the beginning you're not looking at it. A good sketcher. I'm gonna be really honest with you. It's like I don't really think I have what it takes to be like a super dope sketcher, but like still you could say I'm trying to sketch.
off art class, like right after work. I have some art class once a week, and I was there, and we actually worked on portraits, but this time with acrylic, and we did like some games with it. We had fun with it, and we painted each other, so that was really fun. And our teacher actually also wanted to see what we did over the holidays, because like for 3 weeks now we didn't have any art class. And there's a green light from the pharmacy. Yeah, and so I showed her my artworks, and I was a little bit nervous. I mean, the sketchbook basically. I was really nervous, but ultimately she really liked it. And you know, the girls were also enthusiastic about it, and they kind of encouraged me to keep going with it, like the storytelling idea and everything. So that was really nice. Now there's this like exhibition or something, like a photography exhibition in this space that some people I know rent, and there's this photographer, I believe, who will do like an exhibition there. And there's also going to be some vintage clothes, and they're going to be on sale. So it's like a vintage bazaar and an exhibition. You know, I thought maybe I could stop by.
So this exhibition had a specific meaning, and the artist explained to me that it was the elimination of choice you have as an artist. So usually artists always filter their work, and they use what they like and they delete what they don't like. What he wanted to challenge is the idea of like using everything you've created without deleting anything. So I went back from the exhibition. Honestly, I thought it was really nice. Like the artist sort of explored this idea of not having a choice, you know, of putting everything in there. And I think that's really fitting with what I'm going through right now. Because right now I'm trying to rediscover my creativity. I'm rediscovering a sense of what can I create, or am I willing to explore my creativity further? What is creative expression? You know, all of these things. You know, I think that this idea of eliminating choice really hits home, because today when I was at art class, we were looking through my sketchbook with my teacher. You know, I was kind of judging my work, and I was saying it looks kind of childish. You know, a lot of the times I don't like sketching because maybe I feel like it looks a bit childish. Or maybe I look at sketches of like established artists and I'm like, this looks way more sophisticated, way more adult-like, or what it should look like than what I do. And then I kind of said, you know what, but I decided to roll with it. This is what it is right now, and I'm just going to keep going. And my teacher highlighted that sentence I said, like, this is what it is right now, that it's like a lesson to learn, because a lot of the times we kind of judge ourselves for what it should be like, but this is what it is right now. You know, this is how I draw right now. This is how I sketch right now. But anyways, I'm just saying that this has been good, because like the exhibition showed me that there is no choice. Like sometimes you just put it all in there, and maybe you will create a really amazing art work because of that, like because of eliminating choice, because of embracing even the faulty images, the faulty drawings, the faulty perspective, or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I really liked that idea. You know, I thought that was nice. And now that I came back, I kind of associated it with my own journey, let's say, and I've decided to embrace it. I know it's difficult, but when I sketch something, I'm immediately like saying, oh my gosh, what is this in front of me? But then I'm like, you know what? No, this is what I'm doing right now. This is how I sketch right now. And maybe if I continue, it will evolve, and it will turn into something else, and then something else, and then something else. But if I never did it, I would never see that evolution. I would never be witnessing it. I would never be aware of who I can become, basically. So yeah, that was the exhibition, and you can see some of the work. Like, you can like it or not. Some artworks I really liked. Some other images maybe didn't speak to me as much, but this was also his like saying that, you know, it doesn't always have to speak to us. It can just also just be an artwork, you know, and maybe something we create doesn't always speak to us, you know, it just doesn't, unfortunately. So we just take it or leave it. We just create it, and then we move on. We create and we move on. We create and then we move on. Even with the good artworks, you create and then maybe you should move on, because otherwise you won't be able to create a new one. Anyways. Good morning, everyone. Actually, it's not really morning anymore. It's like noon. I feel a burst of energy. I feel good. I feel alive. I just feel good. I felt this sudden burst of energy, like maybe I should go to the city center and just pick up some things and add them to my house, sprinkle a little bit of joy. I think sometimes, luxury comes in those little tiny forms of like just buying things that maybe you wouldn't necessarily enjoy for yourself because you're like, this is an extra expense or this is not a priority. But, maybe you're spending money on things that you don't really like versus things that would actually make you happy and that happiness would last longer. Like for me, it's, for example, if I buy blueberries, which are quite expensive here in the supermarkets, maybe this would be a lasting joy for the next 3-4 days. I would have this joy in the morning where I'm like, yes, I can add blueberries in my breakfast. Whereas if I kind of restrain myself and if I said, fuck it, I'm not going to get blueberries because they're expensive, then, this is like a very cheap luxury, like what, 2 to 3 euros for the next 3 to 4 days. It's not that big of a deal, is it? So yes, that is my idea of luxury. Okay, I think I should go now. So let's go. Okay, let's go. So I decided to work on another page in my sketchbook, and this time I was inspired by this poster from the album release of Fading Dreams by the lo-fi beatmakers Neoplasma and Ondi. I really liked the name Fading Dreams, and it kind of went well with the current storyline I have for the sketchbook. So initially I wanted to glue on each letter from the poster, so I cut them out and I wanted to glue them on my page, but then I kind of didn't like how it looked, so I wrote out the name Fading Dreams myself. Then I decided to paint this really, really thin paper that came with my order packaging or whatever, and I decided to paint it lavender, kind of a lavender hue, which is a watercolor in this case. And then I sketched out this girl that is falling kind of and loses the connection with this hand that should hold on to her, but it's not holding on to her because the tagline is Fading Dreams. As she realizes the dream is falling apart, and I used this lavender kind of paper to put it onto the name Fading Dreams and create this effect of covering it up, or it reminds me of flames for some reason. Kind of improved the background a little bit by adding more structure to it, and that's the final result. It's always a little bit of a chaos, but it's fine. It's a really wonderful day today. A lot of people are outside for a quick walk. Yeah, I love it. Now the sun is not shining in this part, but generally, yes, today the sun is shining.